So I'm going to talk about the one key phrase that's going to shut down any chance that you have in a research career. And this is particularly important for those of you who are thinking of doing a doctoral interview, whether it's becoming a professor or whether it's actually doing a doctoral program interview. So this one key phrase, I'm going to actually tell you it and then give you an alternative, but I'm also going to give you a bit of a story. And I want you to imagine the story as I tell it. So the key thing that you have to remember is that you want to build on top of other people and you want to help other people. That's the name of the game. So the one key phrase, by the way, if you don't know who I am Dr. Dave Maslach. I'm an associate professor. I'm trying to build the whole reciprocity project. The one key phrase that is critically important that will shut down everything when you are doing a research career is when you say, that's all you did. When you communicate that in any sort of way where you are telling somebody else that they are inferior of some way, you're immediately shutting down the conversation. So I want to tell you a bit of a story in terms of how this might actually go about. So the story is of a young researcher that was really excited to do some work. And they're really excited about interacting with a senior professor. But when they went up to them and talked to them, they communicated that their work was inferior and that they wanted to do something that was better than what they were actually doing, than what the senior professor was actually doing. Well, immediately the senior professor says, nah, I don't want to be part of this. It's sending me a bad signal. Now, a different way that you can approach this is to say, I really enjoyed what you're doing. Can you tell me more about why you actually chose this particular path? Can you tell me more about what is actually going on in this particular situation? Was there a story here? What is it that you're really fundamentally interested in? Right, when you ask those sort of engaging questions where you are engaging with somebody else and saying, why is it that way? What you'll communicate is that you're really interested in what they're doing. And what you're going to communicate is that you are easy to work with and easy to have part of their team or your team, right? And that's critically important, is to think about how you can do this sort of yes and logic, because often what you are missing out if you just simply communicate in some sort of way that is all you did. What you're communicating is that you are somehow superior and giving off the message that I don't know if you want to actually be around them. But instead, if you give off the message that you want to build on top of what they're doing, that you're supportive of what they're doing, that you're engaging in what they're doing, it changes the conversation completely, right? And that's the idea. This is kind of what I want to do with the whole reciprocity project, is to change the conversation. It's really hard to build a platform. And yes, I realize that I wish I could be further along, but you don't understand all of the different steps of what it actually takes to get there. And so I'm telling you the story of building this research platform as so you can see all of the different steps, all of the challenges that I go through, and actually to get there. Because if you just look at the one moment of all of this sort of working, then you don't get the whole story. You don't understand all of the different nuances of what happened to actually get there. So it's the same thing of what you are doing when you're communicating with other people. If you communicate that, yeah, I could do this better, nobody wants to actually talk to you. But if you communicate, what is the story there? Why is that going on? How can I help this? What are some really interesting nuances that, I never, me personally, would never think about. When you communicate that, all of a sudden you can have this conversation, and it's so much more fun than if you just simply say, this is the way it is, and I am better than you, and communicating that I am better than you. So hopefully you use this whenever you have any sort of interaction that you want to think about how you can build. And it's always thinking, engaging about what other people are feeling and what they're experiencing, and working on top of them and asking questions about what is going on with them. All right, take care and have a wonderful day.